Hello. This is a map found in St. Albans Abbey, a pre-modern monastery in England. It appears prior to the pages of the abbey's copy of Pliny's Natural History, a classical encyclopedic text amassing and collecting the knowledge of the classical world. A recent article by Alfred Hyatt, published in 2023, argues that the map was most likely drawn in the 14th century. It is hard to call this map a map. Clearly drawn by an amateur hand, it is even harder to call its draftsman a map maker. Nonetheless, our map maker, most likely a monk at the abbey, has ambitiously titled his map Mappa Mundi, a map of the world. Let us orient ourselves in his world. The map is oriented towards the east, like most Mappa Mundi. There is paradise at the top, and Jerusalem in the center of the known world. It is a schematic map, that is, it is diagrammatic, providing a minimum of information. Unlike schematic tripartite mappa mundi such as this one right here, which present simply the known world in the northern hemisphere with the three parts of Asia, Europe, and Africa, our map is a quadripartite map. It shows both the known northern and the unknown southern hemisphere, thus dividing the world into four parts: Asia, Europe, Africa, and the unknown south, or the antipodes, that is, unknown land where people whose feet face ours may or may not live. Hyatt also shows that this map is clearly based off the zonal climata maps, which divided the world into 5 climactic zones, moving from north to south, showing the known world in the northern habitable zone, the equator, and the unknown southern hemisphere below. Yet, this map is also a TO map. Here is presented the well-known schematic TO world condensed and shrunk into a quarter of the entire globe. Maybe a better terminology would be the TD map. We can see then that our map maker has done something very ambitious here. He has attempted to condense 3 views of the world into a single draft. However, despite condensing 3 schematic representations into one, what is most striking here perhaps is the map's desultory emptiness. Daniel Connolly writes that this makes for a frustrating experience, for the purpose of a map such as this was precisely to theorize on the possibility of other unknown lands. According to Connolly, our map maker refuses to do such conjecturing as he focuses our attention on the known world. The map maker includes a note above his map. This is the true geometric proportion of the entire inhabited Earth. The mapmaker states that he is drawing the world according to Pliny's Natural History, but Connolly notes that our mapmaker is very creatively cherry-picking. Pliny does believe in antipodal spaces and hypothesizes about them in depth in Natural History. Connolly cites in the beginning of Book 3 Pliny's summarization of the known world as follows. The whole circuit of the Earth is divided into the 3 parts: Europe, Asia, and Africa. Our mapmaker has cleverly taken advantage of Pliny's slip-up. Pliny certainly meant the known world. The mapmaker has then made what Connolly calls a strategic selection. Is our mapmaker then a stalwart empiricist, asks Connolly, sticking only to what is known? Hyatt reads the map similarly, albeit a bit more extremely. To him, the map is explicit in its rejection of the possibility of lands beyond the known world. Yet, I would disagree with both Hyatt and Connolly. Our mapmaker does not reject the unknown lands. Look at the islands in the far south. That is unknown land our mapmaker has decided to draw. I also disagree when Connolly says that the maker chooses to focus our attention on the known inhabited land, avoiding any reference, visual or textual, to other land masses. I would argue the map's emptiness of the southern hemisphere fights for our attention equally as much, if not more, than the known world shrunk into one side. Such emptiness fights for our attention as much as the small TO of the known world urges our eyes to stick to what is known. If our mapmaker is indeed rejecting the unknown spaces, why is he making space for it? If he is indeed a stalwart empiricist, as Connolly calls him, why does he not restrict himself entirely to what is known? Why does he make space for the unknown? In an earlier exploration of mapping antipodal spaces, Hyatt notes that the representations of most antipodal spaces was restricted to the edges of the map. Here, that is clearly not the case. Our mapmaker has dedicated a whole half of the map for the unknown. The known and the unknown have equal space in our mapmaker's vision. Here then, as Hyatt says, is land unknown, but not land unthought of. Thank you.